So there's an article that came out in the Washington Post. The title is, "A year ago, Biden unveiled a 200-page plan to defeat COVID. He has struggled to deliver on some key promises." You don't say. You don't say. So they just launched the free testing thing. There are caveats to just how free it is and who it's free for and all that stuff. Only people with private insurance it's supposed to be free for. But they may have changed that because you were able to go on a website and just click and get it sent to your house. So I don't know. Maybe they did change it. If they did, that's a good thing. But think about how late this is. 2 years into the pandemic, just now you're doing free tests. Other countries have been doing it for such a long time now. We also just learned we're going to ship out 400 million N95 masks. Okay, good. But again, too little too late going on here. So, yeah, of course he failed to deliver on a lot of his COVID promises. We had the Omicron surge. There was a giant spike. They didn't prepare in advance. They didn't have enough of a stockpile of, like, the monoclonal antibodies. Apparently, only one of the 3 types actually worked against Omicron. There was no stockpile of that, so we had a shortage of it. To my knowledge, they didn't stockpile remdesivir or any of the other sorts of drugs that are absolutely necessary. They didn't invoke the Defense Production Act to take over testing early on and get a giant stockpile. So in so many ways, they failed. In so many ways, they failed. But there's a line in this piece that just blew my mind. So they literally say this, quote, "Asked what they've learned from year one, Biden officials said they'll largely stick to the same game plan in year 2. You're going to stick to the same game plan in year 2? You're going to stick... When he did the $1,400 checks, he had a 57% approval rating. Since then, he hasn't done much of anything, except the things I just described, which he just did deep into the pandemic. His approval rating is now 33%. 33%. And they say, yeah, we're going to stick to the game plan. The game plan of getting no legislation through and signing no executive orders that would make your approval rating go up and would help the American people. That game plan? Look, guys, it's tiresome at this point. I want to show you, take a look at this. This is where he's at on all the different issues. From Polling USA, Biden's net approval in handling inflation, -40. Immigration, -28. Issues around policing, -24. Afghanistan, -24. Economy, -23. Crime, -22. Race relations, -14. Info about COVID, -4. CBS YouGov poll, January 14th. 2,000 people. He's underwater in everything. In everything. Even the one where we gave him credit on Afghanistan, his approval rating on that was the best of all the individual issues until he kept the sanctions on them, and now they're starving millions of people, literally. And he dropped right back down, -24. He was weathering the storm of the media propaganda, and Afghanistan was his best individual issue because he pulled out of there. But then he did the sanctions, which is killing people, and he plummets again. Because of course you're going to plummet, because you're starving an entire country. We're going to stick to the same path. That's what we're going to do. So you want to lose in perpetuity. Listen, I said it the other day. I mean, Biden made this comment about polling. Like, yeah, sometimes your polls go up, sometimes they go down. It is what it is. What are you going to do? And I remember listening to that thinking, that's not how it works at all. You have to do stuff to make the polls go up and down. There is a logical reaction or somewhat logical reaction from the population to your actions as president. When you cut $1,400 checks, you were at 57% because you cut the $1,400 checks. Now, since you haven't done anything, it's tanking. Now, since your agenda is getting blocked in 47 different ways and you don't know how to fight back, it's tanking. Since you haven't signed an executive order that would actually improve lives, it's tanking. And it's going to stay down unless you actually do stuff. So go ahead, stick to your same path. And then inevitably blame the left when you get blown out, because that's exactly what's coming. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.